You know, I think the thing with bread is it can scare a lot of people. You can go all the way to sourdoughs that get really complicated, or you can go to no-knead breads, or you can do this bread, which is the best Homestyle honey oat bread. It is not gonna like break any records. It is nothing like that. It is a good Midwestern bread that my grandma made, that my mom made. It's just a good all-purpose bread. Kind of like a sandwich bread. It's slightly soft, has a little bit of sweetness to it, a good weedy flavor. It's just a good all-purpose bread. And if you are new to bread, or if you just want that great bread that's gonna make the best homemade toast or a sandwich, this is your bread, and it's super simple, and now you're gonna see how to make it. So, to get started, in my mixer, I have some whole wheat flour and some butter. So oftentimes, when you're making a bread that has some whole wheat flour, if you wanna make it a little bit more foolproof, make it have a good rise, you cut that whole wheat flour with all-purpose flour. So here we're using some whole wheat flour, and then we will use some all-purpose flour, so it will still be that nice, lofty, soft bread. The butter is mostly for flavor, and having just that little bit of fat in there makes a huge difference. So I'm adding in some oats. I love, you know, they give a little bit more kind of like flavor, texture, and really what they do is they're gonna meld just into the bread, and you're not even gonna really notice they're there. And then I'm gonna add some honey. So honey, or really any sugar, is kind of a way to, again, make a bread a little bit more foolproof. It helps the yeast, it gives it something to feed on, to eat on, but it also just gives you that hint of flavor and sweetness, which is kind of what you want. It's kind of delicious. So into that, I'm going to put some boiling water. So I just had this boiling. It was just whistling away on the stove. And now what I'm doing is pouring it right on top. So what this does is it's going to soften the oats, and it's gonna actually soften that whole wheat flour too. So it's kind of one of those things that you can do that kind of just make it so those oats go into nothing, and that way you're not gonna have all these hard bits when you're just mixing the bread, because otherwise the oats would kind of stay in their form and they wouldn't do much. So I'm gonna let this just sit here for a few minutes. I'm gonna let that butter melt. I'm just stirring it with a whisk just to make sure it all gets put together, and you can see it already thickens because those oats are starting to absorb it, all that water right away. So I'm gonna let it sit here, let it cool off, because if we added the yeast to this, it would kill it, it'd be way too hot. So we're gonna let it sit, cool down a little bit, and we'll just move on. I put the dough hook on and I stirred it just a little bit to make sure. So if you're uncertain, you can always check it with the temperature. Yeast doesn't like to be over 110 degrees, so this should be between, you know, anywhere 90 to 110, so it could take a few minutes depending how warm or cold your kitchen is. So when it does cool down enough, we're just gonna add a few more ingredients. Bread is actually super simple like this. This one doesn't take long to mix up. It's pretty simple ingredients. We're gonna add a good amount of salt because this is 2 loaves and you really need to season those loaves. You don't really notice it, but you want it. So then, all-purpose flour. You know, people knock things all the time. So like if it's just like a homey good bread, some people say, oh, that's not real bread. I mean, one, health-wise, yes, sometimes a sourdough you could say has more health components in it, but you know what? Bread is bread. So if you want a good bread and you're not used to making bread, this is a great one to make. So I'm putting in some flour. I'm gonna start with a couple cups and we'll slowly work that in. Anytime I do anything with flour, especially like a bread, I start with maybe half the amount of flour, let it work in, and then keep adding, because you know what? The time of year, the climate, where you live, that all can just change how much flour you put into something and how that dough really accepts and absorbs that flour. So I only ever use instant active dry yeast. The difference is they're smaller granulars that do not need to be bloomed in water. They don't need to be woken up in water. They can be added directly with the dry ingredients like the flour. This is all I've ever used. This is, to me, the only way you do it, and any recipe I always adapt to this yeast. So I'm adding that in, and I'm gonna start just mixing it up. So that first bit of flour is worked in, and as you can see, this is a really shaggy dough still. It is very soft. It isn't at all pulling together. It's still sticking to the sides of the bowl. So obviously, we haven't added enough flour, which we haven't. You know, even if you haven't made bread, don't let that scare you. This to me is, yes, a good starter recipe. This is also just good for anyone who wants good bread, but it's one where you can play around a little bit and not be worried, because even if it comes out a little bit, lower sometimes, doesn't rise as well, whatever it is, it's still good bread. So I'm gonna be adding now another cup of flour. I'm gonna get my last like cup ready. Sometimes it even takes a little bit more than that, but what I like to do now is start working that in, and then as it works in and I still tell it needs it and it still has that stickiness to it, I'll slowly keep adding this flour, kind of a shake at a time. When it starts pulling away from the sides and starting kind of to cling around that center dough hook, that's when I start thinking, I don't want to overmix it. So if you're not using an electric mixer and you're doing it all by hand, obviously, you're gonna have a lot harder time over mixing it or over kneading it. That's the one thing with an electric mixer, if you're not used to them and haven't done a lot, you could sometimes overmix it, which can just make it a little bit more tough. It can be just a little bit not maybe the best dough. So at the end, I sometimes like to take it out of here and I like to talk to it. I like to feel it. I like to know what it is, you know, because that's the thing. I don't know if you're like me. Growing up, and Mom and I still talk about this, we always talk about how my grandma, my mom's mom, her like cinnamon rolls, they were always better than ours, always. Sometimes, you know what I think it is? She never used a mixer. She did it all by hand. So she knew exactly how that dough should sound against the counter. She knew exactly how it should feel. And I think sometimes we do lose that in a mixer, because with a mixer, you can overmix it so easily, add too much flour. Because the thing is, flour can be a nemesis of dough if you get too much in there. So when it's just kind of wanting to have a little bit of tackiness and stick a little bit to the counter, but becomes a nice smooth ball, like that, then I know it's probably gonna be ready. So I just form it into a nice ball. It's kind of nice just to work with dough too. If you don't ever do it, you just don't know that good feeling of just like a nice, simple dough. So in here, I have a bowl. I have a little bit of just neutral oil in it. I'm gonna rub it around just so the dough doesn't stick, because it is kind of a sticky dough. I'm gonna put it in, turn it once, and now let it rise. You wanna let it at least double. So I almost always cover it. Something kind of airtight. I love that like bees wrap. But I put it in my oven with the light on, and that keeps it somewhat warm. Sometimes too, if I want a little bit more warmth, I will actually turn the oven on the lowest setting just for a couple minutes, turn it off just so it has a little bit of warmth, and then keep it in there. It's kind of like a dough box then, but also just the light. I'm gonna put it in there, depending on how warm it is, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. We're gonna work with the dough, make 2 loaves. It's gonna smell amazing. Kip is already excited, and we're gonna make some bread. So this has risen. It's been only about a little over an hour, maybe close to an hour and a half. And as you can see, so we put this on just to keep moisture in it so it doesn't dry off. And look at that beautiful, I love dough. I probably get it from my mom because she's always talking about how she loves dough too. So you just want to sit there and kind of press it down, obviously. And then we're just going to form our loaves. So there are often times that I will even make this into like a cinnamon raisin bread. It's kind of that all-purpose. You can do a lot of things with it. I mean, look how pretty. I just think it's pretty. I think doughs are pretty. They're kind of my obsession. So I'm going to cut it in half. If you don't want to eyeball it, weigh it, because then you'll know that your loaves are equal. We'll just see after mine bake if they look equal. If they don't, then they're not. So before I get them ready, here are my 2 pans. You just do 2 loaf pans, and I am gonna take just some kind of soft butter. I'm gonna put some in each pan and then just kind of rub it around. You could do this with an oil too, but I do think the butter actually flavors it a little bit better, because it does. It's butter. It flavors anything better. So I'm just rubbing that around those 2 loaf pans. And this is what though I love about it. I've never had this bread stick. It's such a good all-purpose bread that it usually just bakes up so beautifully. The one thing, if you're not used to bread, and if something seems to go wrong, it could flatten out when you bake it. You know, that could be from over-rising, that could be from under-rising, that could be from certain things which sometimes you just need to troubleshoot, but after you make it a few times, you're gonna know. So all I'm doing is I like to press it, make sure all of those air bubbles that could be in it are out. Knead it just a couple times. It's really nothing. Like, you don't have to really like worry about it here too much. And I'm just gonna do it slightly here. I'm gonna slowly kind of now work it around, and I want it to become a nice kind of smooth top that just kind of slowly evens out. And as I do that, I'm just gonna sit there and look at that, beautiful. I'm gonna just slightly push it now into a loaf shape. There's really no right or wrong here, just obviously slightly more oblong. And it is gonna rise again, so guess what? It will rise in the pan and fit the pan shape. So I'm gonna just slightly press it down, but again, as it rises, it's gonna fill in that. I'm gonna do the same thing to this, put it in, we're gonna put it back in the oven. So once these were pretty much risen to the shape I wanted, I then took them out of the oven. So I could turn the oven on and have it preheat, and they kind of finished up out here. And as you can see, I probably should have weighed them because one's a little bit different size. But my oven now is heated, and so now we can just put them in the oven to bake. This is kind of that best part, and this is when your whole house is gonna smell amazing. Don't bump them, don't hit them, because you don't want them to fall. So now I'm just gonna let them bake through. We're gonna pull them out. We're gonna put a little bit of butter on top because, yes. And then we're gonna have fresh bread. That's exactly what you want. It's gonna smell so good. I'm pulling the breads out. I mean, look at them. You get that golden, beautiful, I mean, they're just homey breads. They really are. Now, I will say, you can check them a few different ways. You can do the whole thumping thing. You can see if it pulls out of the pan well. I actually like to temp my bread, check the temperature. I find a softer loaf like this, I usually like around 190 degrees. My sourdoughs that are crustier, I'm more around like 210. So that for me is just to make sure that center is done, because if it isn't, your bread's gonna sink, it's gonna fall. I always take a little bit of butter right when it comes out. I let it stay in the pan just until it's, you know, cool enough to take out, which at first obviously it's not. But the butter is just more to give it that good glisten on top, make it look pretty, make it look all shiny. It's like, you know, getting ready for, I don't know, a show. It's just pretty. It makes it look that more golden brown. So I'm gonna let them cool obviously slightly, because you can't cut them like this. So I'm gonna let them cool a little bit, pull them out of the pan, cut it. I'll show you the inside. I mean, I'm gonna eat it all, but you can see the inside. So it's still a little warm, but I had to just show you. It is just, this is what I love. This is the little bit smaller loaf where, you know, I didn't weigh them. Super warm, but delicious, kind of like that perfect close texture, soft. So growing up, this was always the best wet. Toast. So good for toast. And for like a homemade meatloaf sandwich. Do you ever do that? You need to. Super it's just good. It kind of like melts in your mouth. You get that weediness, hint of sweetness. It's just that to me, all American homestyle loaf that you can definitely make. And that's what's really fun about this, is super easy, super fun. Do it with your kids because it's a great introduction into bread. And just have fun with it, because that's the point. You can have bread, you can freeze a loaf, wrap it, double wrap it, put it in your freezer. I like to slice them before I freeze them, because then they're easier if you just want to pull out a few slices at a time. Which, by the way, I grew up in a family that we always froze bread, okay? So if you didn't, that's what we do. We freeze bread. Because we guys didn't go through bread as quick, I don't know. Anyway, try this out. Most of all, share this video around, because yes, it helps me, but it helps everyone see these awesome recipes and how easy they are to do and how fun it can be. Because if I can do it, you can do it. We can all do it and we can all have fun. Then the world will just be a better place. So share it around, check my website, wiseguy.com, for this recipe, other great recipes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So until next time, go have some fun, make some bread. I need some jelly, maybe some peanut butter, or just butter.